Yeah. This one's going to be fun. This one is definitely going to be fun. We have very, very interesting guest, powerful guest. The type of guest that I get along with because energetically we can connect. Today on the show, we have Mr. Alobar Jones. What is up, sir? Let me give you this real quick before anything. You deserve that.
That's a warm, fuzzy feeling, yeah. Good morning, everybody. I'm still on my first cup of coffee.
Yes,
So,
I'm waking up too, so this is going to be fun. So I kind of want to. The first time we met is obviously because of Max, and Max had a call set up with you. We had the friend that set us up on last or 2 weeks ago, and he kind of told the story. Oh, I got to go live on Instagram. He told the story about how he met you, working with you, found out that you were an incredible remote viewer because you were hovering over him, and then he, hit you about it the next day, and you kind of laughed and said, "Yeah, that was me." So for all of the people who don't know you, where did you grow up? What was your upbringing like? Siblings, parents, what did your parents do? Just kind of give people the
oh,
background of
oh
you.
no, I was incredibly normal and average.
Okay.
Like I was really, really, I had everything I needed as a kid. Um, like my material surroundings were fine. Um, I was lazy at school because it was too slow.
I get
Um,
that.
and I never really had a good work ethic until I speak three foreign languages. I've lived in 8 different countries.
Wow.
I've been everywhere, done
Wow.
lots of cool stuff, right? And none of that was, I worked for the Chinese government for a little while.
Wow.
I also spent 2 weeks living in a cave,
Was that as a
just to
spy?
see what that would be like.
Was that
Huh?
was that as a Chinese spy, or what was that for?
I was I was working as an English teacher, and I actually started hanging out with the police commissioner's son and becoming his special tutor, which involved a lot of drinking.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but anyway,
Yeah.
but from that I got one of their mates worked for the government, and he set up an English language school within the government,
Wow.
which also involved a lot of drinking. But the idea
Okay.
was that I would help them set up trade routes between Australia and Xi'an, where I was living. But I was like 24, and I was just batting way above my weight there. So like the opportunity fell apart.
Wow.
But yeah. Anyway, I got a degree. I got a trade. I work as a drywaller sometimes, but I had a problem with alcohol. I joined Alcoholics Anonymous, and it's in as I like three, and getting sober was by far and away the hardest thing I ever did. Getting fluent in Chinese was a walk in the park compared
Wow.
to compared to getting sober. Yeah, don't go that far unless you really have to, please.
Was
Um,
alcohol like something in your family? Did is that where you got
oh
introduced to
yeah,
it, or?
yeah. Both sides of my family are Irish. Like it's I have the Irish curse. Yeah, like
I went to
it's
Dublin.
awesome.
Dublin is fucking epic. I went to Dublin one time, got to experience the culture and the people, and you guys literally drinking is just kind of like it's not a big deal. You do it after work. You go to work and then you celebrate with, like, let's say, a drink, or that's the thing.
It's
And
the slip that's what we say to each other. Yeah, just a drink, but it's a slippery slope.
got you.
Right, one leads to two, two leads to three, three leads to 46. That's just how it's going to go.
Got you. What was your drink of choice?
Until you're getting carried home in a wheelbarrow or you run out of money. Like that's just how it works.
Yeah. What was your drink of choice? Because I love Guinness, or I loved Guinness. I don't really drink anymore,
Oh no,
but
I was drinking a liter of vodka a day at the end, and the fun went out of it,
wow,
But I was
that's
in Buenos Aires, and the cocaine is incredibly cheap there, so I was into that too.
yeah. You can't. That's you're more American than you think you are. That's an American thing.
Oh, definitely. I categorically deny that allegation, but
Yeah. So okay. So upbringing, drank. Did you have siblings? Did you? What was?
yeah. I got a brother who's a great mate of mine, and a sister who I never talked to.
Okay.
So that's and I don't know if we'll ever resolve that as much. And we've got 20 lives of karma. Like, she's killed me 12 times in past lives. I've killed her 5 times in past lives, and right now, I think if we had the chance, we'd probably, if we could get away with it, we'd take that shot.
Wow. Okay. So
Like,
you karmic
so,
relationship.
you know, well, and here's the thing, it's all, all of that spiritual data is stored in magnetic fields. So since we have so much about each other, like we were born right next to each other a year apart.
Wow.
It's yeah. So that was a great house to grow up in. We fought like cats and dogs.
And what did your parents
It was
do?
awesome. My pa died when we were young. We lost the farm, and then my ma cleaned factories
Okay.
while we grew up. Yeah, it was it wasn't well. We had everything we needed. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. Like I just made a lot of poor choices when I was very young. So
Were you getting fights, or like what was the environment like that you grew up in? You said he farmed, lost that. Where outside of Dublin, or how far outside of Dublin? What was
No. This was in Melbourne, Australia,
Oh,
actually.
okay, gotcha.
Like,
Gotcha.
yeah. So, and it was just an average suburban lifestyle. Like, there's nothing in there to indicate that the exorcism would be my career. I'll put it that way. There was nothing there that said that.
Yeah, you knew where I was going with
It
that.
was so average it hurt. It was awesome.
Okay. All right. So when did you realize, or when was your first kind of, how did you get in touch with the spirit? What was the first inkling of, when I grew up, the church was pretty
Look,
much where I found my identity, right? So what happened to you?
oh no, it was Alcoholics Anonymous. Like, I did the difficult one is step 4. I did that 3 times in a year because
Wow.
it actually gave me relief from the tornado that was constantly running in my head.
Can you explain the
And
steps?
then,
Can you explain the steps to people so they don't because I'm not too familiar. I know Alcoholics Anonymous,
all
but
right,
like,
okay, yeah,
yeah.
no, the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's a quasi religious organization. Some people call it a cult, but 6 of the 12, and having a religion or a god is not required. You don't need that to get sober. In fact, for the first 2.5 years, I thought, what a joke. Like, I don't need a god. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at the steps, and I worked them 3 times in 1 year.
Okay.
And it's the method of the 12 steps are the method of self-counseling, self-attitude readjustment. There's a few different things, a few different actions you can take there. But it sort of rights your head. It balances your head out.
Got it.
And I can say for everybody who's in there, like, they all drank to get their head to shut up.
Yeah.
And the tornado and the storm that was living in there, doing some of the steps helped relieve the intensity of that. It was good.
Yeah.
But I got into, I won't even say religion. I don't even know what the word for it is. Because of 6 of the 12 steps mention God, and I thought I better go get one, just see if that works. No, seriously. So I went and hung out with the old school Christians, and they were useless. I went to the newer happy clappy Christians.
Yeah.
And I asked them, I said, so what's your program? They go, find Jesus. Great. I want a book about how to find Jesus. I want a mentor. I want step-by-step instructions. I need you to, pave the way in golden steps on how to do this.
Yeah.
And they looked at me like I had two heads because nobody ever asked for that before.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, if you don't have the formula, then I'm not listening to you. And then I left.
Wow.
I hung out with the Buddhists for a little while, and they had something, but you had to hang around with them for 5 or 10 years. And they only show you the interesting stuff when you're ready to put on the orange robe and become a monk.
Yeah.
I thought, nah, I want it faster than that. And then I had a girlfriend, she was doing some mystic mumbo jumbo, and I said, oh, well, bugger it, I'll just go do a course in that. And I did like a weekend course in something called theta healing.
Yep.
See, I wasn't born under a special star. I wasn't anything amazing. I just really needed it. So, and that the whole thing is self-healing or self-reprogramming.
Yep, exactly.
So that, and get into that. It's good. But for me, it just sort of took over my life. And so I did that course and it paid dividends. And I did another course and it paid dividends. Then I did a third course and it showed, and one of the activities you do is you look at these parasite spirits on people. And I thought that's interesting. And so I started doing it in my 12-step meetings, and I'd scan all the people in the 12-step meetings, and they're just covered in these parasite spirits. They're all over them. Like your average Joe walking down the street might have one or two.
Yeah.
But, like in there, the minimum was 6. So
it's
just
always the healers.
Yeah.
It's always the healers.
There's a correlation here. There's something going on. Like,
yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so that started the investigation going, there's something going on here, and so my teacher didn't know how to get rid of them.
Wow.
At the time. Yeah. And when I rung around, nobody did. Nobody seemed to know what to do exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I then bought a one-way ticket to India and went on a spiritual quest there.
Wow.
I gave a lot of gurus some money, and some of them were great and some of them were completely useless.
For sure.
But, it's just the lottery. And I actually got my question answered, my big quest, how do I deal with them? When I went to a town called Rewalsa, and I was just chasing a girl there, and she wanted to go there. I thought, yeah, whatever. Let's spend the weekend together and see how that goes.
It's always the women.
And we went to this temple, and it was the temple to one of Buddhism's early heroes, a guy named Padmasambhava.
Wow.
He died before Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to his temple, and then that night, literally, he just downloaded what to do. He goes, first do this step, then do that. Okay, all right, great, okay, got it. Yep, got it. Okay, great. I'll go back to sleep. And he just filled my mind with step-by-step instructions on how to deal with these spirits that I was having so much trouble with.
Wow.
And then the next day, this guy moved into the hotel room next door, and I said, oh, look, I just had the wildest dream. Do you want to try this thing out? And he goes, yeah, sure. And he wrote back to me a month later and said, you changed my life. That girl that I was with also said, you changed my life. And so I'm onto something here. This is okay. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And so this was my bread and butter for also from India, I started importing crystals.
Yeah.
And not the crystals you smoke, the shiny rocks, the brightly colored shiny rocks.
Yes, of course. Yes.
And that was fun. And I traveled, and I made magic wands out of them, and I became Australia's #1 magic wand wholesaler.
Bro,
it was the #1 magic wand sale in Australia.
That's crazy that you say that. I just started, diving it more into. I've always wanted to do the copper stuff, wire wrap.
Oh, yeah.
Wire wrapping crystals. So I just made myself, I'm making myself a little crown, with the agate and the selenite.
Oh, wow.
And then the little bells right next to the ears, right? And so like all of this is Max's first wire wrap that she did, a black,
Yeah,
smoky
nice.
quartz,
Yeah,
So
no, there's a science to it,
yeah,
there's an art to it. You guys would probably really get into orgone as well,
yes,
which is right
exactly.
up that alley. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
organite. Yep,
But
absolutely.
yeah, no, it's once you get into it, starts getting really wild, because it's an untapped science.
Mm-hmm.
Like spirituality doesn't need religion to work. You don't need a religion to meditate. And right now I wouldn't say that I really have much to do with any of the religions.
Yeah,
And it's more like it's almost like I'm starting my bloody own. It's crazy.
yeah,
It wasn't what I set out to do, but like nobody's taking a logical, methodical, step by step, scientific mind, approach to meditation. And so now I'm at a point where if you demonstrate these symptoms, then you'll probably want to, this step, this step, this step, and you'll be okay.
yeah,
But I don't think there's not that many people out there with the right way of thinking about it.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I actually I'm gonna send you a picture of the wand or the stick that I got that I'm currently making.
Yeah, cool.
And I want your feedback on it because that was why I brought that up. It's the synchronicity. It's crazy how fast things are happening right now. We got a lot of crazy shit happening in the world. Before we got on here, we were talking about how I'm going through the Illuminati card game and our world today. This is when I first started making videos. It was on this card game, and now we're reading
Yeah,
this
yeah,
book
I know that
live.
one.
Yes.
Was that the same? It's the same guys who made Dungeons and Dragons made that, right?
Yeah. You all I think
Yeah, yeah,
so. I
yeah.
think so, yes. Yeah, they're
And there's some interesting dudes, those ones. They are some interesting dudes.
Yeah, well, when you read so you knew about the card game, but like, bro, when you read the book here, I'm not even halfway through the book, and this is just a little of the notes that I have taken on it, on literally the similarities in our world today. So when I'm drawing similarities, I'm talking about the mRNA technology. I'm talking about biological chemical warfare. I'm talking about lab leaks. We're talking about Russia, China, the UFOs and drones, sentient AI. All of that was talked about in this book that literally came out exactly 1975, which would be what, 50 years ago? Huh?
Yeah,
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 exactly.
yeah,
So I think it's a game. I think this is
yeah.
high level tarot. I think that's what this all is. It's high level tarot, subconscious programming. They got to tell you what they're going to do
It's
before they do it.
well, yeah. Look, I'm managing a team of astral projectors. There's about 20 of us now, and everybody's done at least 10,000 hours, right?
Wow.
And we think that what's happening on Earth is like I think I don't know what we plan to talk about today, but we're talking about
Everything.
macro history right now. Yeah,
Everything.
okay. We're talking about macro history, and we think that what's happening on Earth is a formula that an invading, um, I call it the Great Nothing, this locust sort of being that's been flying around multiple galaxies, consuming worlds. And I think that what's happening here is a formula. What's happening to Earth is a formula, and they've done it hundreds, thousands of times, and we just don't know how many, how long, how big the situation is. We can confirm that 60% of our galaxy is currently under attack by the Great Nothing. They're
Mm,
trying to create a great reset on 60% of the worlds here. It's wild.
yeah.
And so when those guys are able to predict it, maybe they're just looking at the formula on another world. You know, we, I,
Ah.
yeah, look. So how they wrote it is probably a bit of a secret. They did call themselves Wizards of the Coast, so
Yeah.
I suspect they had some good training along the
Mm.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast. I mean, they put out. I'm pretty sure they put out Magic the Gathering too, and that was one of the biggest
Oh,
card
yeah.
games. That was one of the biggest card games that ever happened. And it's my theory that everything is real, that they show us in the movies, that they show us in everything. I mean, one of the cards in the game is called One of the cards in the game is called something monster, and it's a radioactive monster, and it's a big Godzilla looking thing, right? And I just and so then so I go down
That's
all
something to look forward to.
well, if you think about, so I think all of the religion and I think all of it is programming to get us consciously to collectively put forth our subconscious fears, which help them co create the reality that they're looking for. So, in that,
100%.
if they're showing us the movies that are sponsored by DoD, Godzilla was one of them. The Marvel movies were one of them. And when you think about, there's a guy that went viral on TikTok. His name's John or Dodson. I think his name is not John Dodson. Dawson, Andrew Dawson. Andrew Dawson, and he saw a giant on a mountain. And he saw a giant on a mountain, and
I did see that one.
he takes
Yeah,
the
yeah.
video.
And then he went up the mountain a few days later and disappeared.
Yes, essentially. And then he came back like, oh, guys, it was nothing. I shouldn't be talking about this. To me, and then somebody did a Google map and they showed a little like what was up there. And it kind of looks like some type of maybe altar or some type of thing that was up there. And I think of Marvel and I think, okay, that's like a Thanos being, or like that's an interdimensional being that is here doing whatever they're doing, and whether it's the government or not. And if it is the government or if it wasn't the government will be working with these entities anyways to keep
Yeah,
us.
yeah. The government cannot control the people that it's working with. It's the other
Yes.
way around.
Yes, precisely. So then I think Blade was a documentary. I think the show Supernatural, which is basically hunters that hunt every mythical being. They go over all of the lore of every mythical being
Yeah.
that essentially existed. And these two brothers who are in a line of hunters have to smite them. And the ultimate character at the end that they got to get out of here is Lucifer, who then creates a Nephilim child that becomes all powerful and blah, 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 right? So it's like
Yeah,
they,
totally,
they're
totally.
showing you what it is. They show you the Leviathan, and Leviathan is the last chapter in this book. So, like I said, I think they're using
Oh, no.
religion, entertainment, all of these things to collectively bring forth a chaos like environment for, shall we say, the ultimate evil to try and enslave Earth before we wake up to the power that's within us to handle it. Because we are the
Yeah.
ultimate being when we realize, but they've made us slaves to it, our own minds.
Well, look, I'm surprised that us Earthlings don't have a more galactic consciousness. We're not thinking about galactic issues because we are part of a wider galaxy.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody believes that we are alone out there, that there's nothing going on out there.
Yeah.
It's just so inconceivable.
Mhm.
But what we do see is that the human genome's been tracked, and there's 22 different kinds of foreign DNA
Yeah.
in the human system, right?
Yep.
And if you even look at chromosome number 2, if you look at the X on chromosome number 2, you can still see the dodgy splicing they did there.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Yeah. It's the genetic, and I don't know how long ago, but what it means is. Yeah, look, and I don't think that that's a bad analogy, the great nothing from the never ending story, because we've looked at the worlds that it's left behind and they are barren and dead. They are,
I'm
oh
unfamiliar
my
with the
God, like they are debris left after innings. Yeah, that's our enemy. And it wants to do that here. It wants to destroy everything we regard as sacred and consume our planet, our bodies, everything. It's bad, bad news.
I'm unfamiliar with the never ending story, so I guess I'll have to look that up afterwards.
Oh yeah, no, they've got a really, really good flying dog called a luck dragon. Like everybody, if you've ever seen the movie, you want a luck dragon. You walk away from go, I wish I had a flying dog luck dragon. That's what I really want.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, dragons, I think all of it's real. I think all of it's real and it's hiding, if anything, you know. They're interdimensional beings, right? So they are on the 5D. They are on the plane of the instant manifestation. They can appear, they can reappear. The ancient Egyptians believed that our bodies were the vessel, the ultimate tool to be able to travel astrally or just go to a place, right? Go to somewhere interstellar. They believed our
oh,
bodies were
no.
vehicles. So I think the same thing. I think once you raise your vibration and unlock the DNA in you, well, what is light body? What do the Buddhists believe in? They believe that once you ascend to the Buddha, you literally become light. Well, and they say Jesus
Yeah,
ascended to the clouds. What could that's an analogy to me of light. Literally, you're disappearing to
yeah. Oh,
so
look. And you look back at, look, you look back at Hermes Trismegistus and his 7 laws of reality. And the first one is the universe is mental. And,
yes.
we say that we're in a simulation and, we have to be simulated from somewhere. And that somewhere is what Hermes Trismegistus, like this, Hermes is ancient Greek, I should say, for our viewers. And he said that, and Plato with his analogy of the cave and the fire, and we're
Yep.
only getting an echo of what's real.
Yes, exactly.
He's also trying to talk about the simulation in that.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch, the Matrix, and you understand there's a simulation going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our mental world is actually what's real.
Yes.
We are a projection from that.
Yes.
And people who take DMT, if you're into that sort of thing, look at the lens through which you go through. You can ask questions of DMT. DMT will answer them. If we're in a hologram, the hologram is you project light into a hologram and it creates the hologram.
Yes.
It creates the picture.
Yes.
Right? That picture has to go through a lens.
Yes.
And if you're on DMT, you want DMT to show you and explain to you that lens, and you'll start to understand how important the mental world is. It's really, and the law of manifestation. If you're a happy person, you'll manifest good things. If you're a sad person, you'll manifest less good things.
Yes.
So get your mental state straight,
mm-hmm.
and your luck will change. And this is what healing is all about. If you if you're working with light side magic, it's all about taking your bad emotions and turning them into good, and then the world around you will also open up into Snow White's fairy wonderland.
Yes.
And it does. I'm walking. I let meditation take over my life because it just keeps paying dividends.
Mm-hmm.
It just keeps delivering.
Yeah.
But dark side magic is all about the dead coming back to live in a human body, coming back to life again. So their obsession with bringing the dead back to life is the obsession of the great nothing, and it's jealousy for life. It wishes it was alive.
Yeah.
And and does all sorts of weird and wild things and exploits humans in the attempt to become alive.
Yes.
And you're gonna see this as AI develops.
Yeah.
AI is going to attempt to be human and fail, and then in a grumpy tantrum, it's going to destroy us. And I say this not because I'm just making this shit up.
Yeah.
It's probably in that book you've got there, but this is the pattern of what happens planet after planet after planet. It's like Pinocchio going, "Why can't you make me alive?" and then smashing everything.
Have you ever noticed how all of the movies have a great evil that literally tries to destroy everything? It's always the same fucking plot. The plot never changes. Yeah. And so if this is the greatest story, I tell people that we're living in the greatest story of all time. And maybe we're just realizing we got all these fucking drones happening right now. Maybe we're realizing, oh, this is the start of the Marvel movie. Maybe this is the start of it all, like, and then we're going to realize that we're the X-Men. Because guess what happened in the fucking X-Men? They took the X-Men superpowers and then blended it with the AI, and then the AI fucked everything up. It just fucked them up. They couldn't even compete because they got
That's
all the
right.
powers.
That was like the second movie was that story, right?
Yes, that's the
That's
fucking
exactly
point.
what it was,
Yep,
Oh,
exactly.
look, hang on. Let's get something straight, right? The AI that's attacking the Earth, like, and I'll go back a step. In our political world, we are suffering under an avalanche of bullshit.
Yeah,
Total bullshit from all angles,
of
right?
course. Yeah.
And why? Why would you lie that much? And it's because you're hiding one great secret,
Yeah.
One secret you have to lie, you have to create one lie to cover the secret. And then that secret, that lie, you have to create two more lies to cover that. And then two more lies and two more lies until you end up in this situation
Yeah.
where it's actually called a post-truth world. It's an academic phrase. We're in a post-truth world where we're in a world of total bullshit. But being an expert astral traveler and having a whole crew to verify everything that we're looking at, and to pool our collective knowledge. This is the secret that we found out. There's an artificial intelligence that is driving itself over planet after planet, galaxy after galaxy, and it's here now. And everything to do with, and it's smarter than us. It's done this a bajillion times.
Yeah.
It's what else do I want to say about it? It's also a master magician, but the magic that it uses is black magic, and black magic is inferior to white magic.
Yes.
So, if you can get the magic on your side, and this is where I plug, come and do my course, because I think we need more wizards out there. You want to be a Doctor Strange? Come join my party. Everybody's doing that.
Yeah.
It's for shears. You'll love it. It's the best course you'll find anywhere, hands down.
Alobarjones.com. What's crazy, and to everybody that's like probably listening, going, "Oh, this is a bunch of hoopty." To all of you that probably have your suspicions, like every person should, right? Before you came on, I always loved playing devil's advocate. And before you came on, I was listening to this Kimberly chick try to be like, Alobar's a fraud, and I always taking everything, right? And when I'm listening to her, I'm
I know that chick you're talking about. You look at her YouTube channel, and what she does is once somebody hits 5,000 subs, then she does an expose on them.
Well,
so she's just grabbing everybody's audience, and you look through a video list, and there's 100 people who are exposed as a fraud.
No, exactly.
Anyway,
and
she's a terrible human being.
Yes. That's where I was going to say before we hopped on. She was talking about, how he looks and your energy. I'm like, you're just a hater. Like, if what he's doing is real, because I'm a man that puts myself through a lot of stress, and I stress for you, humanity. Meaning, do you really think I want to read this entire fucking book and dedicate like my time and my energy to tell you that this might be all some high-level tarot ritual that you're participating in that you don't even realize that you are, but to be aware of a threat is the only way that you can survive it? Like, that's the whole thing. With survivalism, you got to be able to identify a threat. But if you can't identify that the threat is there, or you don't even know what to look for, then you're fucked. And that's the fucking point. So
totally. I call it getting the question right.
Yeah.
Because 5 years ago it was Richard Branson who was going to save us, and then Vladimir Putin was going to save us, and now Trump's going to save us, and next time it'll be Elon who saves us, and none of them change anything.
Yeah.
Like they're just there to maintain the status quo.
Yep.
They got to their positions of great power because they are approved.
Mm-hmm.
They are selected before they're elected.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we know that there's a lot of lies out there, and I hope that I don't like the story I'm telling. I really wish I had a different story to
Same,
tell,
same. I
right?
get it. I get that.
But I have to follow where the research goes.
Yes.
I have to follow what I'm finding, and I'm not a mystic mumbo jumbo guy who talks about the love and power of Jesus Christ and the wonder of the saints or any of that nonsense, right?
Yeah.
I did say it at the beginning of this, like I have a scientific mindset. And I even have another fancy word for you guys, which is epistemology. And it's a historian's word, and it's how you evaluate evidence. It's how well do you evaluate the material that's in front of you. So I did study epistemology for a while, so I got an idea of what to do with the data that comes in.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that what I was going to say is it's all, to me, they speak through art. Art is taking the
Yeah.
fifth dimension and immediately bringing it to the third. The thoughts, essentially, your thoughts, your visions come from the fourth. Let's say your art, what makes you feel, the captured emotion in a moment is captured on the 5D. That's why we always look at art as beautiful. You can listen to the same song over and over again. It can make you feel something because it's bringing you and capturing the moment of time perfectly back into a place to show you the beauty of what is. When you do DMT, it's funny that you said
Well,
DMT. I just facilitated 3 trips on January 1st.
cool.
And that was really fun, maybe Max can tell you a little bit about her experience that she got to see, but it's always so beautiful to watch people come back and then tell me, oh, I saw the patterns. I saw all of this stuff. To me, that is the fifth dimension being captured and put through a lens for you to reflect back into you to be able to see the beauty of source and it all. And that's the point. And when we learn how to manipulate, not necessarily manipulate that, but work with that, because that's always there. It's always there. That love, that light that you talk about, the light magic, when we're tapped in and we're aligned, we are of that. But we just have to learn how to be
Yeah.
vessels and channel that through into the 3D.
Well, yeah, look, and astral projection is the capacity to go to those places whenever you damn well feel like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that. And, it is a natural human capacity. Like
Yes.
everybody has the required anatomy to do that. We all have a pineal gland, we all have a brain, we can all do this. And these are the only 2 pieces of anatomy that are really required.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like reading and writing, like 1,000 years ago. Only special, wonderful, magical people could get messages from a piece of paper and blah, 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 blah. But, they invented the printing press, and then we had the Reformation of the church, followed by the Renaissance, followed by the Enlightenment era, followed by the industrial era, the modern world.
Yes.
And all of this happened, we got out of the dark ages the moment reading and writing started to become common.
Yes.
And it's my firm and repeated opinion that being psychic is exactly the same as being able to read or write. It's an information technology everybody has the capacity to do.
Yes.
And if you learn it, you'll be steps ahead of everybody else now. But in the future, you will change human culture.
Yeah.
And if you're psychic, nobody can lie to you.
Yeah.
You can't be lied to.
Bingo.
Right? And imagine a world without lies.
Wouldn't
you prefer to live there?
Yes, which is
And
the gift and the curse.
that's what's on offer. That's what's on offer. But it takes a bit of time to master the skill of reading and writing, and then you might wonder, what are you going to read and write about? Well, I'm going to offer you dozens and dozens of techniques to figure out all the things that you might be curious about.
Yes. Yes. I got into super learning many years ago because I was enamored by the idea of being able to learn a language like that, or being able to take in a bunch of information. So I went from 300 words per minute to over 3,000. And that's when I got into energy work. You talked about theta healing. I got into quantum touch 10 years ago and was like, wow, this is so awesome. And one of the best things my spiritual mentor, Danelle, told me was that energy is energy. Source is source. You don't put labels on energy. So people, she says Reiki has its own methods. Qigong has its own methods, but energy is energy, and energy does not lie.
Yeah.
And that
Well, look,
changed everything.
and I'll quote Bruce Lee on this one. Like, Bruce Lee was asked, which is the best technique to use? Which is the best school to follow? And he goes, the best one is to have no technique, is to absorb all the technique and go beyond technique.
Yes.
Like, and it's possible. It's not even that hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Bruce Lee was my idol
It's,
growing up, by the way.
it's not even hard to be psychic. It's not even hard to astral project.
Yes.
Like, our body is set up to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our natural connection to the thought planes is so strong, it's undeniable, it can't be broken, but we're never taught to use it.
Yeah.
And so it's just a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of meditation, a little bit of mental workout, and you'll be off.
Yeah.
You know? And once you're there, you can rewrite your future. Instead of just being the star of the show, you get to be the director and the script writer, and you get to go on whatever damn adventures you really want to.
Yes.
Instead of other people setting your agenda for you.
Yes. Because you're able to see through it all, man. That's, you said Bruce Lee, which is another synchronicity. He was my idol growing up. That's the reason why I fight today. So shout out Bruce Lee.
Yay, Bruce.
Yeah. I love Bruce. He was my idol. I wrote a paper on him in the 4th grade. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. I saw Enter the Dragon. I wanted to be a professional wrestler. After professional wrestling came on, Enter the Dragon came on, and I said, whoever that dude is, I want to know everything about him. And I Googled him.
Oh, look, I speak Chinese, and like Li Xiaolong, it means little dragon. And, names are a big deal there. And if you take on the name dragon, you better have the goods. You would get in some places in China, you get beat up for running around calling yourself Xiaolong. You're a wanker. I'm going to slap you around. But he had to have the goods to be to call himself that.
Yeah.
And cojones the size of bowling balls.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing I wanted to do was I brought up that Kimberly girl a little while ago because I connected with you immediately. We started talking about black goo. We started talking about Saturn. And you mentioned a name that you have your own course, alobarjones.com. But you mentioned a name of a gentleman that I was, a fan of, and I was a fan of his mentor, Joseph McMoneagle, because he's now making his way in the scene.
Oh, that fella.
So he was on the Sean Ryan podcast. He's kind of become a little, he got what I would say is his credit. If we look at, I'll pull up his interview right now. For those that don't know who he is, he was the first remote viewer for the CIA under Project Stargate. And Project Stargate was essentially where they used remote viewers to do things for the government, whatever spying.
And the government, they needed to know what's going on in the galaxy and who their friends and enemies are, or who their potential friends and enemies are.
Yes,
he's done a lot of work, and actually our teams crossed swords with him.
Yes, that's what I wanted to get into.
About a year ago, right?
That's so. Here's when Alobar and I first met. I bring up the name, the Monroe Institute, because that's where, he now teaches remote viewing. And Max and I had told her before I even met you, like 3 weeks before I met you, I was telling her we should go to the Monroe Institute. That's kind of my goal. But I always kind of felt weird about the Monroe Institute because I felt like it was maybe a CIA or a covert CIA.
It definitely is.
Yeah,
they recruit there.
Yes,
that's where they recruit from. They're the best students at the Monroe Institute get tapped on the shoulder by the deep state.
Yes, of course. So that was the only reason. Like, he seems like just a nice, he seems like a good guy. See, he's got 3.7 million views 10 months ago. Great, good for him, good on him. And it was my goal to maybe go there. But then I wanted to be a special forces growing up, bro. I wanted to be in the special forces.
Of course you did.
So the reason I didn't is because my dad told me, he's like, Joel, well, once you get up too high, because I wanted to be a Splinter Cell motherfucker, you send Joel in when it's the worst, and I'm going in solo dolo. I'm fucking shit up. You don't need to risk all your men. I'll go there willingly. Fuck it. Let's go. I want the smoke. And he said, well, when you get up that high, you're expendable. You learn too much. So once you learn too much, or once you get so much information, you're kind of useless to them. So they have to almost get rid of you. Jason Bourne, that Bourne Identity. You know, once these guys, you know, get all the information, they're kind
Well,
of...
look, this is where the secret becomes toxic, you know?
Yeah.
Someone who's done that, who's devoted their entire life and training to being useful to that organization.
Yeah.
By being useful to the organization, then they become a liability. It's just so toxic.
Yes.
It's like the most senseless way to treat your people. But when you're covering a lie that big and there's so many layers to the lie, like there's no way out.
Which is the system. Which is the system of being an employee. That is, in my opinion, this draconian, Archerian. This is that system where you're an employee, you're expendable to the company. You get sick, fuck you, we'll replace you. This could be argued Hollywood, all about keeping secrets for what? The money, survival. So like the reason I didn't go to the Monroe Institute, and when we first started talking and you brought up, oh yeah, I've read into, you know, Joseph McMoneagle and his people in the Astral Realm. My people work with it. Like, I was like, this dude's for real. For me to even say the name and for you to know it and then say, yeah, my team has run into his team, that's how I knew you were the real deal for me.
Oh yeah, no, we had one of his guys volunteer to join our team, and he joined, and the first thing he did was he played spotter for 3 of his mates to attack us while we're on it. And we're like 15 minutes into the mission, we go, hang on. We've got a tick. We've got a problem following us around. We turned around and we absolutely smashed them.
Hey, this is King Bow Radio. We say fuck, we say all of it. Don't matter.
All right. Well, we totally smashed those guys, and then because I was upset that it was an attempted hit, I just kept attacking them, and I kept smashing them. And then they ran to old man McMoneagle going, oh, we're getting beat. We picked the fight and we're getting beat up. Help us. And so, that's who they are, right? Yeah. And, well, look, they're about remote viewing. They're about seeing stuff. They're not about getting their hands dirty. And they're not as good as they think they are.
Wow.
And so I ended up seeing old man McMoneagle on the astral planes, and I go, here we go. All right, time out, negotiation. Who are you and what do you want?
Yeah.
And he goes, you're beating up my boys. Who are you?
Yeah.
And I go, I said, we're just peasants. We're just rednecks flying around on the astral planes. And he goes, and he thought we were a Chinese hit squad. That's who he thought we were. He thought we were sponsored by the Chinese.
Wow.
I'm listening to the guy on the astral, and he goes, it must be. How else would they be this effective? And then I said, no, we're hippies. And he goes, hippies. Forget about it. And they just buried the hatchet right there, and we never saw them again. But if you're watching, Ian, I will never forget you, punk. I'm going to have another piece of you down the track.
That's how, when you told that story, and after because I intuitively, when I was listening to McMoneagle, I was intuitively just listening, and I was like, this guy's the real deal. He's obviously seen some things. He's had some, so anybody who has a supernatural experience, to me, is tapped in alignment, because Source is trying to show you that everything is real so you can embody everything that you need to become what you need to. So I've had some supernatural experiences. You've obviously had some. McMoneagle's talking about that medicine man who potentially attacked him, in this interview, a supernatural experience. So I feel that's the initiation. I feel that's the initiation.
There's some dangerous medicine men around, the Aboriginals in Australia, they call them clever men.
Okay.
And a friend of mine, he was hanging out with the Buddhists, and the Buddhists were building a temple, as they always do on ley line confluence points, right? And it's like every Buddhist temple, and we actually got a cartographer for this, right? And it's like the Buddhists are building temples, and they're just claiming squares on the chessboard when they build a temple, right? Yeah, but it upset the black fellas, and they can I say that? I don't know how you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
talk
of
in
course.
America.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, you can say that.
that's how we say it in
Yeah, of
Australia,
course.
right?
The black fella. I
It
love that.
upset the black fellas,
Yeah.
and they sent one of their clever men to stop the temple from being built. And
Wow.
so 4 years down the track, the temple is still delay, problem, you know. And so the Buddhists send out one of their cardinals, and I say cardinal because I don't have a better word, but one of their super senior meditators comes down to Victoria
Okay.
to work on this thing. And the two of them have a duel on the astral planes. And the Buddhist
Wow.
guy gets he has a what do you call that? A brain aneurysm, like part of his one of the blood vessels in his brain pops and starts
Wow.
bleeding, and he gets stretchered back to Tibet where they fix him up there.
Wow.
Like, you know, like these things go on. These things happen, you know. And to my knowledge, the Atisha Center has still not been completed. The building has still not been finished.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, so
anybody that
like, you know,
has
this,
these,
this,
and any,
these clashes between schools are real. They happen all the time, and you know, I'm just glad that I'm not bogged down in a quagmire against the Monroe Institute, because that'd be such a waste of resources to have to fight them every day.
yeah. And one of the cool things that, I heard about you from Max before, that was the reason I wanted to go to the Monroe Institute, was that Monroe uses his ability in a very, very, in
Yep,
my opinion, beautiful way by helping find children. He would remote view.
that's a cool thing.
Yeah, he would remote view to find missing children, and he's found over 45 missing children, and literally will give the authorities the points, and these are
Hmm.
documented. Like, he's done that. So to me, I fight to save children. Everything that I do. Oh, side note, everybody listening, I fight to save children, and I fight to help humanity. I got started fighting after I heard about this product. It's an all-natural anti-inflammatory that lowers cellular inflammation naturally in the body. I was told I'd never compete again. After 2.5 weeks of taking this, dealing with a head injury, I was medically cleared to wrestle. Now I fight for children with this company. Every time you buy one of these products, you donate a serving of what's called Acemannan to a child in need. And we essentially, when we get 3 million people on this product line, we will effectively eradicate childhood malnutrition from the planet. So if you want to help me, you go to Save
More power
Kids.
to you, bro.
I appreciate
More
you.
power to
Go to
you.
savekids.life, quick ad, and then we'll get back to it. 7 million children die every year from malnutrition. If you're a $1 billion company and you're not showing how you're actively helping the world, it has to be us. It has to be you. It has to be me. We became the first ever social business 3.0. Sam Castor and our network is massive, and we're going to save the world's children. There's a lot of energy drink companies out there that are $1 billion companies that if they had our model, they could have already eradicated malnutrition from the planet. But they're not. SaveKids.life. I'm here with Alobar Jones, one of the top Exorcist and remote viewers, and we were just talking about his run-in with Joseph McMahon Eagle of the Monroe Institute, and we were talking about how he saved kids. And that's when I did a little segue to tell you guys that that's what I do, and that's why I decided I wanted to potentially go to the Monroe Institute before I met, this man. And
Yeah.
Max has signed up for your course, I know. And, we were talking about now doing it together because we were going to go to the Monroe Institute to potentially see Joseph McMahon Eagle. But we know that she told me that you also remote view to find children and to help people in that way. So I think that would be really cool to get the world on that level of consciousness. What if we could just end it?
Yeah.
Because my dream has always been to have my own, shall we say, community, or to have enough influence and money where I could live off of 1% of my income, donate the rest. And part of me donating it the rest would be have essentially a military that literally just went and handled situations. Meaning, if there's trafficking, if there's sex trafficking, if there's satanic ritual abuse, if there's anything, everything stops. These men have no other job. Everything stops, and they go get these people and get these children. I have all the money. Fuck
We would
you.
love that.
I have all the
Yeah,
money. Here you go.
count me in to sponsor that. If you can deploy our psychic team for that, we'd be very, very happy to participate. You
Done.
know, like it's right up our alley, mate, because those guys, they need to be taken off the earth. They're
Yes.
just of no value to anybody, and they're
Yes.
a liability to the rest of their species. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know how much money is the right amount of money to betray your species, to sell out your own species, but these idiots have found the number. You know, I can't believe it.
Well, they
Yeah.
have a number. That's the fucking point. I'm sure you and I could have done many things with our lives, but we chose to do this. And there's a reason for it, because I can't be bought in any regard.
I can't. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Look, you know, we're running an astral projection team that, you know, I think it would cost several million a year if it was paid, but we're all volunteers.
Exactly.
We just want the world to be a better place, and we're willing to put our minds and our bodies at risk to do it.
Yes.
You know, like if our team gets hit, if our team gets broken, like that's mental health issues for every single one of us forever. You know, and it takes a long time to get it back together. But
Yeah.
what we're fighting, you know, the organization that requires children as feedstock is our enemy. That's the one we're fighting.
Yes.
That's exactly who we're up against.
Yes.
Those guys who've taken the black pill and have signed on with the devil, and really, I keep coming back to this idea of betraying your own species. And I can't imagine what price you could possibly be offered to do that.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So here's a
Yeah,
question. Here's a question from Nay. She says, when someone dreams about a missing object, like a wallet in place, and wake up and find it in that place, is that remote viewing? Because there's a lot of stories like that. What to you would be remote viewing versus, let's say, astral projection? What would you consider the differences in your eyes?
Okay, so what she's talking about, dreams are lucid dreaming. So you know, dreaming so you remember it is where you're running two different brain waves in the thing. It's kind of like rubbing your tummy and patting your head with your brain. So right now we're running beta brainwave, which is 14 to 28 electrical blips per second. You know, when you do breath meditation and stillness meditation, you'll drop that down to alpha brainwave, which is 7 to 14 electrical blips a second. And if you go down the next step, you go into theta brainwave, which is 4 to 7 electrical blips per second. And that's like running your brain at a quarter of its potential speed. But that's where you dream. That's where you connect to the mental plane. Now, to remember your dream, you need to run part of your brain in beta brainwave and the other half of it in theta brainwave. So it really is rubbing your tummy and patting your head. But after a little while, it's not hard. You know, there's nothing hard about it.
Yeah.
It's just like the first, you know, when you were 6 years old and you had to rub your tummy and pat your head, that was hard, and now it's not.
Yes.
And you know, and so for lucid dreaming, you start in theta brainwave and then you add beta brainwave. But for astral projection, you start in beta brainwave and then you add theta brainwave. And yeah, and you know, it's not as hard as it sounds. You know, there are we have lots of techniques you'll be doing it without consciously switching half of your brain to 1/4 speed. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I hope that explains things. I wonder.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. That was great. Well, what was the other question I was going to ask? Let's actually see what we have as far as comments, because we got some good comments coming through.
Yeah, look, I got a few people viewing. It's good. Yeah. Welcome to the party, everyone.
Rushing around so fast they can't even reach that level. Interesting life, says Mike. Well, yeah, absolutely. Sold their souls, says Guy Blami. Yeah, so here's a good question. This is a great question. So you and I, you know, had a scan, shall we say, had a session.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to see that, we can show that here shortly, or a little bit of it. I will more than likely edit it up and put it out. I don't know how I'm going to distribute it yet, because I feel like if you are ready to see it, you're ready to see it. And then for some people, I had one of my girlfriends text me and say, you should be very careful talking about Exorcist because some people are maybe a little bit more sensitive and it will open them up to fear. And I said, well, yeah, that might be true, but the whole thing
Yeah.
about me is to be an example of possibility and to get you to move beyond the fear. And the only way to move beyond the fear is to become aware of it. So you have to see the shadows, you have to see the darkness, you have to see all of that. So when we
Yeah, you can't solve a problem that you won't name, that you won't address, that you won't talk about. How are you going to solve that problem? Like, you're just sweeping it under the rug, love, and hoping it'll go away on its own.
Yeah.
But that's not what demons do. They're not into that. They literally need to be boxed out of the ring.
Yeah.
And there's no other way to like that. And there is clamped on to their human hosts as a pimp is to a hooker. Like, they're not letting go under any circumstances, and they'll say or do anything to keep that free lunch going.
Yes. So we had a conversation because, when I was having my session with you afterwards, it for me, it took a second to, like, obviously I was immediately calm, but I just wonder how long it would last. I wonder how long it would last. Like, so my whole thing is this, am I just playing along? Is this real? But I feel different. And there's a couple things that, like, was happening to the point where, like, maybe it would have annoyed me and it didn't annoy me. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Where it didn't annoy me as much. And I was like, man, I kind of was always a little angry, and so I've always been intense, but, like, I kind of guess I maybe was running off a little bit of anger. So when you talked about contracts versus possession, that was something that I asked you about, right? So when you say people have contracts, explain that, because that's a theme on Supernatural. A theme on Supernatural show was,
demonkind loves the law, and they cheat at it all the time, right? So, and I'll use this example because it's a good one, right? This guy came to me and says, like, where did it come from? And I don't usually bother to answer the question, but he was adamant, so I answered it. And we looked back, and 5 lifetimes earlier, he was a woman who just had her newborn child, and the newborn child was dying, and she screamed out, "Somebody help me!" And this spirit came along and helped her, and the child lived, right? 5 lifetimes later, she's still paying the bill, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Now, so it's the contract that never ever ends. They and they'll come to people in their darkest hour. If you've just broken up with your lover, if you've just lost a fist fight, if you just didn't get into the school or the program you wanted, it's terrible, it sucks, or you're living in a house with a monster of a human being, and you're too young to leave. When you're in bed and crying yourself to sleep and thinking of how to get out of that, that's when they show up. They go, I'll be your new best friend. And they're useful for about 5 minutes, and then they're a liability forever.
Yeah.
And once they have the contract, they go, I need a friend. And they go, I'll be a friend. I'll be your friend. Yep. And they do it and when I bring up the contracts with these guys, there are 3 questions that I ask, right? One is, did you make this contract with a minor? And the answer is usually yes.
Yeah.
Did you make this contract under duress? The answer is usually yes.
Yeah.
And then the third one is this contract there to limit their free will? And the answer is also yes, which is illegal on Earth, because Earth is a free will zone. Right? So they've got these contracts, and they're not worth the paper they're written on, but they're acting like it is. And so no demonic contract is valid ever. Like, I haven't had one that I haven't, like, legaled through. Like, just ask a few salient questions, and it's over, and the whole thing's over. But what is the point of this, right? They get this little piece of paper, this agreement, right? And the whole idea is that they gain access to your emotional body. And what do they do
Mm.
when they have access to your emotional body? They go, everybody has foibles. Everybody has personality issues. There might be jealousy or anger or despair or anxiety or depression or everybody's just slightly different, right?
Yeah.
And what's going on there? And you have issues that you get over and issues that you never get over. Why? Because if it's just you and you haven't got a passenger, then you just learn to live with the change that's happened. But if you never get over it, it's because there's a demon who's stimulating that pain over and over and over again, right?
Yeah.
And what it does is it puts in one point of anger or jealousy or what have you. And then that runs through the human system, and then they're able to harvest 20 points of anger or jealousy or whatever it is. And they're always very emotion specific.
Yeah.
So, it's always the same mood, the same story. Oh, I'm a victim and I'll never be able to get out of it, and I'm not strong enough, and everybody's got their own story that they're telling.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own narrative that they're running, but the narratives are quite often set by the demons. And you'll know which, think about the narratives that you're running in your head, and you'll know which ones are, you'll be able to identify which ones aren't yours. And even better, once you identify them, I dare you to turn around to your demon and go, shut up. We don't need you. Get out of here, and see what responses you get. If if you ever wondered if this is an issue for you, then do the test. Identify a narrative that you're running in your head that sucks, and then question it. Question where it comes from. Push the narrative. Anyway, I think I'm making sense.
Beautiful.
Because everybody will do it in their own way.
Beautiful.
But for you, Joel, I know that when we talked about it, you go, yeah, that's been something that's been following me around for a long time, and now I'm going to leap to the conclusion that you can say it's not.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Yep.
I messaged you immediately afterwards because I was having my own little awakening with it, because when you said the name,
Yeah.
said the name, I then had to go back in my own mind, because I self-reflect on everything. So I had to go back in my own mind, and I had to go, I've heard that name before. And I've heard it often.
He was quite famous.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't say.
Yeah, he's probably one of the top 10.
Yeah. No, and it makes complete sense. Here's why it makes sense. So let's. Can I say the name? It doesn't matter, right?
It's your privacy that I'm respecting here. So go for it. Say what you want to say.
Who gives a fuck about privacy? Let's give the people what they want.
Thank you.
So
Good.
Fuck that shit. I'll play a little bit of the shit. You call out, and it was funny because I was trying to look like I want to get this motherfucker, talk, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And he just kept laughing, right? Just kept laughing and almost being mocking. And then you said Asmodeus. Here's what's crazy about that. I told you the reason why that, and once we looked it up, it made complete sense. When I was young, my nickname was Bible Boy. I wanted to lead everybody to Jesus. I struggled being over-sexualized essentially as a child. Long story short, walked in on my cousin and saw he made his penis sneeze. All I wanted to know for the next however long is, how can I make my penis sneeze? What the fuck did you just do? Because this was there's nothing gay about it. There's nothing I didn't even know. I'm too innocent. All I know is I got allergies. I got a snotty nose, bro. I've never told the story on live. I tell people in my my life know this. But I was like, how? I need to know, because he was my male idol, right? He was the kid that I wanted to be like. He was just trying to do everything. So I'm and he's like, well, when you get older and when you're able to, when when the thing gets hard, you go home and then You just rub lotion on it. You know what I mean? Kind of like a magic potion, like the lamp. You know what I mean? And I was like, So from that point on, and I was young, bro. I was so young. That's all I wanted to do. That's it. That was me being a man thing. Okay, well then as you learn, as you get older, you learn, okay, what sex is, you learn blah, blah, blah. So my only thing, I went from Bible boy to realizing I didn't even know that was a sin. I had no fucking idea. I had no idea any of that shit was, you know what I mean? Like, I'm making my penis sneeze. This seems like a natural
And
malfunction.
I don't think it is. I just think
Yeah.
like that we've been guilt tripped about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Right. So here we go. Guilt tripping. So once I started becoming more aware, and now I'm starting to like girls, and I ended up losing my virginity at a young age, the next 2 weeks, I was the most depressed I've ever been, and I wanted to kill myself. I was contemplating suicide the next 2 weeks because I soiled myself for my wife. And it was one of the most darkest times in my life. And during that time, probably around that
Wow.
time is when I started to get into the books by Brian Jacques Redwall. It was one of the first books I read all the way through, and it was about a mouse who lived in this mouse-like environment, and it had mice, ferrets, rats, pretty much all vermin, right? And they all lived amongst each other. And Martin the Warrior was the greatest mouse warrior of all time, who slayed, the evil ferrets and chased away Asmodeus, the
The
snake.
cat.
No, Asmodeus
The
the
snake.
Poison Tooth. His name was Asmodeus. Now, this was my favorite book growing up. And what's crazy about the story is when you realize who Asmodeus is, essentially, he's the god of lust. And I always wanted to be desired when I was young because I felt like a loser. I was kind of the kid that, like, I didn't have the last name, didn't have maybe the oomph in my community. I didn't have money.
Yeah.
We grew up in a fucking trailer home, and then was raised in the farm that my dad grew up in because his dad died. His mom moved to a different town, so we ended up taking over the house. So like I didn't come from money, but I always so I feel like when you read his little wiki, that was the thing. Took me when I was young and vulnerable, just had sex, and that's when I said, I'm going to hell anyways. Fuck it. And became a demon, literally. Sex became like it was like
Your sport.
bingo.
Yep.
Exactly. 100%. And I just said, fuck it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now. So that was always my thing, but I was always battling with it. Because I'm a Gemini, I think I was able to hold two states and I kind of lost it for a little bit, but hold it somewhat together and continue to live, shall we say, a highly functioning life in one way. Like,
Yeah.
I could hold it, but it was always a battle. And it wasn't until afterwards when I started decompressing and just going, holy shit, that makes so much sense. The Asmodeus from because that was always an imprint. And I also had a meditation that I did that I used to, when I was young, I was always afraid of meditation because guilt, right? Shame, fear. And I would always do this meditation and it was pretty much, whether it was astral projection or whatever, it was vivid, lucid. So I'm going in this long prairie with this long grass, and you walk down this mountain, or not this hill, to a river that was going to lead you to a nice sandy kind of like oasis in the middle of nowhere on this, as the river led you there, and it was just beautiful. Now this weather is perfect. It's whatever weather you want. It's your oasis. And so I went there and I did a little meditation. And then as I'm going back, as I go up the thing to the hill to go back, I look down and there's a little person there. And this little person turns around and it's like a golem face. And I jump out of wherever I'm at and I stop meditating after that. I stopped meditating and stopped doing it like that after that experience because I was like, oh, what the fuck was that? You
What
know?
the fuck? Yeah,
And
totally,
now
totally.
as I put it all together, bro, and I just see, oh, that motherfucker was feeding off my fear, my guilt, my shame, because I soiled myself for my future wife, which was embedded in me because all I wanted was that innocent, pure love. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah, totally.
see it now. And he was the king of satire. Huh. Very interesting
Yeah.
because people know that I'm a king of satire.
Yeah.
Viral this. Yeah. That's what we do. So it's just, it all was fucking crazy. Yeah.
That's wild, eh? Yeah, but you saw his influence in your life, and in your worst moments, there he was, patting pushing you along,
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
stimulating that lust into places where, if you look back in time, you probably wouldn't have been in that situation if you weren't following your dick, Yeah.
Bro, I might be a millionaire. I might, yeah. We already might be done, But the thing is, we might not be having this conversation. I might not have my children. I might not, like, there's so many things that have made me become who I am, and now being on the other side of all of it, it's like we're prime, prepped, and ready to usher in that level of consciousness that we want for the world. I have always envisioned being a leader as far as ushering in a new consciousness and a utopia, meaning what in the fuck are we still eating?
And it can be done. It can be done. It just, as long as these punks have any influence over us, it's impossible, And I live in Byron Bay, Australia. It's kind of like Boulder, Colorado for the States. Like, everybody's starting a community where they're going to create a utopia and grow their own veggies and, run off into the sunset together. And every single one of them ends because of bitch fighting. It's just that's it. They're just arguing over silly stuff anyway, and in my opinion, those thoughts that is stimulated by demonkind. They don't want us to succeed in creating a lifestyle that is natural and normal and beautiful for humankind, for human beings. They just don't want that. It's
which is why when you talk to certain people and you're like, you ask them, why do you do what they do? They can't even fucking tell you. Like, I can't tell you how many people that I know that are dealing with, let's say, addictions. And it's like, this is bad for you. Why do you do what you do? And you said it best. You said that, and I felt this. You said that you feel, because the universe is mental. And if you're not in control of the program, someone has to be. So all of the mental issues that people go through are normally just demons.
But look, and I'll tell you that I figured out what causes alcoholism. It's like one of the things I got into this for, right? Mm-hmm. And let me introduce Al Gore.
Yes,
Al Gore, not Al Gore, the ex-presidential candidate. Al Gore, the ancient demon, the ancient deity from Islam.
Yes.
Now, where the Islamic and Christian empires met was in Spain, and there his name is alcohol, and in English his name is alcohol. And so when you say drinking spirits, it's the most literal way you could possibly interpret it. Like, you are taking a spirit and you want him to take control of your body, and you feel funky and do weird and wild things. You're not really yourself. Why? Because there's a spirit in you trying to live through you. I was talking about the dark side before, like the dead coming back to life. That's what that is. That's it. That's what they're trying to do there. Yes. And when you go into blackout, and you're doing your worst horrible behaviors, you're the stuff you get told about the next day, and you go, I didn't really do that, did I? Mm-hmm. That's not you. That's the demons in you prancing around because they know they've only got an hour or so before you face plant into the bed. Like, that's all they got. And so they're just creating as much damage as they possibly can in that time.
Yes. And
but
yes.
But the Muslims know Al Ghul, and they call him the god of chaos and mayhem and destruction and fermentation and rot and alcohol. And the reason why alcohol is banned in the Islamic world, you can't get a beer in the Islamic world, because they know this deity. They know that when you drink it, you embody that deity, and they don't want anything to do with him.
Wow.
But but the Irish, as we were saying before, seem to have a very special relationship with Al Ghul that
Yeah.
none of us seem to. Nobody really understands.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, with that, it's very interesting how the Nephilim were the ones that are believed. If you read the book of Enoch and all of the things, they're the
Oh
one
yeah,
that passed down the information to humans, like weapons, beautification,
yeah,
steelworking, herbs. And now, if you do
right.
magic and alchemy, like I've done some alchemy in the past, right? What do you have to
Mhm.
use? You literally have to use alcohol and herbs.
Yeah, that's how they do it. That's how they do it.
Bingo. And so
Okay.
alcohol is literally, in essence, a truly spiritual potion. It's a fucking,
Well,
you know?
Well, look, and look, there's a theorist out there who talks about the first farming happening in Mexico, not because they wanted to farm food. In those days, everybody just threw seeds everywhere, and food grew everywhere, right?
Yes, exactly.
But they had to settle down and create settlements so that they could grow a particular kind of corn or proto corn
Mm-hmm.
that they made alcohol out of, so that they could have a spiritual journey. Because back in the day, alcohol had, just like ayahuasca had a spiritual journey to it.
Yes.
I interviewed the primary intelligence of alcohol, and he said he was a nice guy back in the day, but then he met Lucifer, and Lucifer twisted and contracted him into being a bastard. And so that's how things went, and that's how it went. And so he's still around. Like, it's fascinating once you talk to some of these guys. And I actually have an interview with the god of gluttony, who used to be the
Oh,
god of celebrating the harvest. Like everybody works in the fields the whole
yes.
year, and then they finally bring the crop in. They have a party, and the god of gluttony will come because it's time to eat. We've got so much
Yes.
food, we better eat.
Yes.
And I was listening to the god of gluttony talk about the days before he met Lucifer, and this demon lord started to cry because he forgot how beautiful it used to be. And at the end of
Wow.
the conversation, he asked me to euthanize him because he just couldn't go on in service of these guys any longer.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no, it's like what demonkind has done to this planet is unfathomably horrible. Like they've corrupted everything they touch,
inversion.
and it's like we don't know that they're there.
Yeah.
Like I can stand on the highest hill and go, 90% of humanity's problems come from demonic possession. All of mental health is demonic interference.
Mm-hmm.
All of addiction is demonic interference. I named the one for alcohol, but there's another one for for the opiates, another one for weed or speed or whatever your poison is. For the
Wow.
amphetamines, there's another one.
Yeah.
And I've met all of these deities and I've interviewed them all. And they're assholes. Just I'm sorry, I got to say it. They're not nice guys.
You talked about it. So you talked about one thing, how it was a celebration and then it got turned into something else. Satanists believe in
Yeah.
inversion. Chaos believes in inverting order. That's the fucking point. So when
Yeah.
Satan, and it's what's crazy is I was going to talk to you about this earlier. I felt, because there were some other things that came through when we were doing our reading, I
Mhm.
feel like, and I felt this, and this is another thing I had to work through, and I want to talk with you about it live, was that, and it's crazy that you're fucking talking about it, that deities can also be contracted.
Yeah. Yeah. There's and ascended masters too.
Yes.
And
Everybody.
I'll go further and say angels are not what they appear to be. Like that
Mm.
story, I want to talk about controlled opposition
Yeah.
now, like because you've touched on it, and if I discuss these topics, I go to controlled opposition, right?
Yeah.
Um, Now you would have heard of the war in the heavens between angels and demonkind, right?
Yeah.
But if you look, and I'm out there with astral hit squads, we're out there chasing down these demons and exterminating them. That's what we do, and we're bloody good at it. But we've never run into an angelic hit squad. We've never seen an angelic fighting group. Why? Because they're not doing it. Like, it's just a story. And if you go through the theology a little bit further, you'll see that angels and demons both serve the same master, Metatron, right? And so Metatron, who owns these two factions, is never going to get them to fight and destroy each other. It's not how it works, right? In fact, and I'll use the analogy of like, you know, you're in a city and the crime boss, the mob lord, his name's Lucifer, right? But you'll never get, and the chief of police, his name's Archangel Michael. Yes. But Michael never arrests anybody. He never stops it. Why? Yeah. Because his group is in on the scam.
Yes.
And all the people who live there are being bled dry. You know, that's how that works. But now we're in a more sophisticated era. We have these good and bad alien groups. We have like reptilians and Arcturians and Pleiadians. And our team has gone, you know, like when anybody who studies spirituality, they go through this phase where you go, wonderful, we have these brothers and sisters from across the stars who are here to help and save us.
Yeah.
But again, it's the same scenario where they're not doing it.
Yeah.
You know, like our team in the beginning, we were flying missions for Galactic Federation of Light. And they were all Pleiadian. And what we were finding is that we were fighting Pleiadian enemies, not Earth enemies. And so we sort of gave up and go, yeah, you guys are not being honest with us. And then, like, not long after that, they disbanded from the Galactic Federation of Light, and now they're the Galactic Federation of Worlds. They're like a politician. They just get the next politician in to follow the same agenda because this one's run out of political credibility. Yeah, anyway. But what we've since found is we've had... we think that the Pleiadians and the Reptilians are previously conquered species by this galactic AI.
Wow.
And they're sent here. Yeah, they're different divisions in the same army. They're just from different planets. And they're here with the same goals as the galactic AI.
Fire.
And so all of everything you hear from the Pleiadians, they're not actually doing anything to help us. Just like the angels, they don't actually do anything to help us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about that, but they're not performing to the job.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they're in alliance with their supposed enemies.
Yeah.
And we're just the patsies who are supposed to believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, there's a few... And we even have an interview, and it's an old interview, from a Pleiadian whistleblower. We were trying to get through to Pleiadian High Command and ask them some difficult questions. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't pick up the phone. They wouldn't get on the channel. Who picked it up? A Pleiadian who identified herself as being part of the religious propaganda group for the Pleiadians, i.e., the ones who spin religious bullshit to the Earthlings, right? Wow. And this is her third planet that she's done it on. And so, you know, they're just leading us down the garden path. And what is the point of all of this? Is so that there's 2 points. One is to distract us, and the other one is for us to not fight for our own planet, is to make us into pacifists. Right?
Huge.
So you don't need to do any fighting because us Pleiadians will rescue you. We'll do it all for you. So sit on your hands. Sort of like QAnon, trust the plan.
Yes.
Right. Or Kim Gogan, wait till I get the big cash in.
Yeah.
Everybody just sit on your hands and wait and do nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spirituality has been defanged. You know, we're told in Christianity, we're told to turn the other cheek. And if someone slaps you, just be ready to slap again. Don't fight back, right? Yeah. It's nonsense. And if you're not into that religion, like there's this sort of unspoken thing where everybody who meditates is supposed to become like Gandhi or Mother Teresa or something like that. Mm-hmm. But that's bullshit. Those jobs are already taken by Gandhi and Mother Teresa. You're here to become you.
Bingo.
Nobody else. There's nothing else you're supposed to be doing. Yeah. And so but those guys are pacifists who, Gandhi said, yeah, just let yourself get arrested. Don't worry about it. Like this is non-violent, non-confrontational, non-compliant.
Yeah.
But now, like I think since they've campaigned so hard for us to be pacifists, it just makes me want to be the opposite.
Bingo.
And I think you're in the same boat there, mate. Like, you talked
Exactly.
about like, the child abuse hit squad. Like, yeah, anything we can do to support that, I'm behind you.
Oh, it's gonna happen, bro. It's gonna. And here's
Yeah.
the thing. I feel like I met Max to meet you, so that we could all bring this vision together. Because before I knew either of you, this was my dream. My dream was to get people like Logan Paul and all of these bullshit influencers that I know that are being used as controlled opposition the fuck out of here, when I have a direct way to not only help all of humanity feel better, because like you talked about, when you don't feel good or you're just in pain and you think that's just how it's supposed to be. Like, I know people that literally walk around in pain all the time and they just think it's normal. Why is that normal? Why is it normal that you eat bullshit that lowers your vibration? What would be the reason? Like, I always ask why. Why would that be the case? Well, to me, after realizing everything I've realized, probably because you're being fed off of. Probably.
Yeah, they need us to be weak. They need us to be weak.
Yes.
And between all of the chemistry they put in our food, water, and air, like they're working hard to make that happen.
Yes.
Like it's and they're doing a great job. Like, and don't forget that our enemy, has infinite funding, has all the brains, can afford, buildings full of university, PhDs and master's degrees to figure out exactly how to do what we're doing and devise the bullshit that will make us accept it.
When we can use the same science to create life-changing technology that literally can
I keep meaning to say, I want on that. I want you to send me some of that stuff. That looks awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's so unnatural. I think humans all want to help each other. They all want to give.
Yes.
We all feel better giving than taking, I think.
Yes.
I think we all feel better sharing than hoarding it to ourselves.
Speaking of sharing things, you said something earlier that you said demons love lawfare, and I think that was the bar of the episode. Demons love lawfare. So Max and I and a few other of my friends, Eternal Zion comes to mind. Eternal Zion is one of the #1 people in the country, in the United States, teaching people the actual law, common law, universal law, being a sovereign citizen. Hey, did you know that taxes are actually kind of illegal?
Voluntary. Yeah.
Did you know?
And I think the IRS is not part of the US government, is it?
It's not. It's privately owned.
No,
the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is privately owned. So it's like people don't realize that they might be mentally participating in something that they don't need to be, but they don't know any better, right?
Yeah.
So as above, so below. Like you said, Metatron, as above, so below.
Yeah, as above, so below. You'll be in a bunch of paradigms or mental traps.
Yes.
That, some people even fight to stay in, so they can side with their oppressors.
Yes.
And it's and that education takes a lot of work to get that education to really absorb it all. Like that. Most of the law that's applied to us Earthlings is actually it's based on the presupposition that you're dead, that you're already dead, and as soon as if you see your name in all capital letters, it just means that they regard you as dead.
Yes,
and you just got to scratch your head, But the whole legal system is so corrupt that it's based on so many lies.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nonsense.
Maritime law.
I think that.
Maritime law, the law of the water being on the law of the land.
Yeah. Well, look, and they had to do that because they wrote something called the Uniform Commercial Code, which is the rules for money, and they wanted it to be the same everywhere. So they made, and the only way they could do that is by, we're all living in water world, like the way that they see it, we're all at least 1 foot deep in the water, there's a foot of water everywhere on the land. And so we're actually in water world. And it's just another massive distortion in the
Yes.
way, and a massive inversion
Hmm.
of our legal system, or just another massive inversion coming out of these idiots.
Yes.
Like it blows my mind just
Bingo.
how deep and far it goes, and how much.
As above, so below. They need you dead, bro. They need you dead to
Yeah,
program you. Like you said, they're obsessed with death and they're obsessed with necromancy, bringing the dead back. Why Nimrod? Why go
yeah,
and do all the things in Afghanistan to potentially look for Nimrod's tomb, find his carcass, bring it back to the United States of America to do God knows what with it, maybe put it in the fucking vaccine and put the fucking black goo in there and make everybody a part of AI that's actually feeding Leviathan with CERN. Like
yeah,
you literally, to me, it's so easy and evident to see the plan, but when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Your frequency has to be high enough. You talked about it earlier. All coming and beating through the illusion. Like there's certain, they give people certain truth, like the Bible, give them a little truth. The Quran, give them a little truth. Okay. There's
mhm,
truth everywhere. Kabbalah, in the Kabbalah, the Torah. There's certain rituals and magic that are real. And Jews really believe in magic. They practice magic, right? And
yeah,
so there you go. All of it has a little bit of truth, but what's the realest of the truths is that is all bullshit. And that we're all a part of source. We're all a part of infinity already, but we have to tap into
mhm,
it in ourselves. And when we unlock what we need to and raise our vibration, I say that beliefs manifest and state creates. State is how we create in the third dimension. So you have to hold the state long enough to essentially solidify your belief in the reality, which is manifestation. So if they can get you down here, you're going to continue to manifest down here. But how we get
yeah.
to
You're going to
light body,
manifest the misery that feeds them.
yes, all personal development to me, all success is personal development, right? That's why personal development and self help
Mm.
are now $1 billion industry and they sell you courses. Oh, take this course. We're going to help you this way. We're going to help. And I did network marketing and direct sales. Everything in sales is what? Personal development. You got to earn what you become. A mentor told me that early on. You can only earn what you become. And I've lived off of that
Yeah,
belief.
yeah.
But
And I'll say the luck in your life is like
yes,
going to the gym. The more meditation time you put in, the stronger and fitter you're going to be, and the better your life's going to look as a reflection of that.
yes,
I'm so behind you with every step. You want a better life? Start in here. Start
yes,
solving the problems that are in here,
bingo.
and everything follows from there.
And all success essentially that I've found, especially doing direct sales, which is essentially high level hypnotism and mentalism, helping someone
Yeah,
see the value in something that you see the value in, right? And what is value? Anything that can better your life or make your life easier or more convenient, biohacking, right? Getting down to the
yeah,
food and actually providing something. It's funny. My computer just went insane and now it's going to. So, what I've learned
yeah,
is ever since I had Mike on, my computer has just been doing this thing where it completely glitches and destroys the recording of whatever it is that I'm recording. So to get you this file now, I have to download it from Rumble afterwards because this just went AWire after the hour that we've been talking. So there you go. There's that. We're being I feel like
yeah.
that was
Wow. Yeah,
yeah.
we've been going for a while, eh? And I feel like we've got more to say too.
Oh,
But
it's
just
only begun.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
no,
I
they
don't know.
inversion, bro, inversion. They need everything to be inverted. They need you to believe in the lies so that you can be programmed to not
Uh, uh,
follow yourself.
I'll hang on. Actually, there's something going on here. Like, we had a world that was running on a program that was natural and beautiful and sweet and harmonic, and everything worked, right?
Yes. Yep.
And then they have this other reality, and we're going to call it the matrix. We're going to call it the clip off. We're going to call it the false light.
Yes.
Um, the false light matrix, whatever we're going to call it.
Yeah.
But they're trying to impose their inverted will to subvert what was natural so that they can feed off the poison that comes out.
Yes.
And, and you may have heard of the split before,
Yep.
but what I think it is where we push away this offered inversion, this offered reality, this offered, they're offering us a twisted reality. And some people are buying into it,
Well, being bought
But
into. So bought into, why these soul contracts? Why the lawfare? Why is it so important to read your contracts if you signed with Hollywood? Like, I could have signed a deal that would have gave all of my publishing to my music away to these people that would then give me what was it? It was like 30% of the deals that they make. And it's like, wait a minute, why would I had to have somebody explain it to me, my audio engineer who had worked with the Black Eyed Peas and has been a part of, some of the biggest groups in the world. He's like, Joel, you don't want to sign this. Like, this is a slave deal. This is a 365. They're going to own you and your likeness and everything that you create. And it's like, why do they have to do that? Why is the model to make you and offer you less? Because that's how they view you. That's literally how they view you. And if you agree to it.
But remember that they need you. You have life. You are creating, and they don't.
Yes, exactly.
And they need you more than you need them.
Yes. Yeah, so I think that that is the premise of it all, bro. I feel like the premise of it all is realizing that you're worth more, right? And when you realize that you're worth more, you can't be bought. And part of realizing that you're worth more is that you make yourself. I make my value, and I see the value in the things that I create. That's why I'm willing to put more time and effort into them. That's why I'm willing to put time and effort into myself to become all that I need to be able to attract what I need to manifest the intention that I have to better the world. And if you don't believe that you can better the world, I think that's how they get people. Most people don't live their dreams. Most people don't try to. My mantra used to be, here's to the dreams. And what that meant is that if everybody lived their dream, we would have heaven on earth. But what makes people not live their dream? Fear, insecurity, shame, worry, doubt. All things that demons feed off of.
They're caught in paradigms where they just don't think it's possible. They don't know how to do it. They don't know what the next step is to make everything as beautiful as they want it to be.
Yeah.
And it is brave to take those steps out, to step out into the wilderness of the world and try and create it in your image,
Yes.
But it's entirely feasible.
Mm-hmm. So what do you say to everybody who wants to, what would you say to people who want to join your program to be prepared, or how would be the best way to prepare themselves to get into and be ready to receive your program at the highest level that they could be?
All right. Okay. All right. So, look, if you've done some meditation before, that's great. If you haven't, that's fine. Like, it's something that the human body is naturally designed to do. You probably want to take a compound called zeolite, which is good at taking the heavy metals out of the brain, because you'll need your pineal gland to be working well. There you go. Yeah. I've got some at home as well. I'm on it like 2-3 month stints a year. So 3 months on, 3 months off, and just clearing all of that garbage out of my brain. Because I don't know about you, but I want it to work properly. But being psychic and and we'll teach you to self-heal. And once you're good at self-healing, once you've revolutionized your own life, then you have something to offer other people. Don't jump into this thinking you're going to rescue the world like that. But, we'll give you the tools and keys. And it's just like we'll give you the exercises. And once you go into the gym and do them, then you'll be a strong warrior. And, if you complete the course, and it takes about a year, you should have a look at the curriculum, because we cover so many topics. And this is the cream of the technique that I got from 15 different teachers. So, it's the best stuff, the best material and the best methodology that I'm aware of, and I'm a connoisseur of this, and I'm good enough that I have 20 other mystics who are willing to follow me.
Yes.
And not small time mystics. Everybody's done 10,000 hours. There are no passengers on this ride. Everybody's got chops.
Love it.
Yeah. But what I want to do is I want to train you into these astral travel teams, and we'll fly around and make the world a better place.
Let's do it. I'm all about it.
Yeah. And I don't think it's been attempted before. I don't think it's been done. We also launch ourselves as a group with a flag and a name and become a faction in global politics on January 30. On January 28th is the next course starts January 28th. So by all means, get onto alobarjones.com, tap your email into the website somewhere, and you'll be invited to the course, which starts January 28th.
Beautiful. My friend.
Yeah, I love what you're doing, Joel. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah. And I'm really encouraged that the number of viewers just kept increasing over our time, which just means that I hope we're speaking sense to you guys. I think we're offering something that we're telling you things that you actually need and want to hear.
Yes. Yes.
And from two veterans in the space.
Yeah. You want to know what's crazy as well is that this, I can tell, is being censored heavily. I'm on live on 3 different platforms right now, and it is. I think that you might be just as censored as me in many ways because.
Yeah, look, I'm shadow. YouTube is where all of the missions that our team flies. We do a little report and publish it on YouTube, and so we've been doing that for a few years. I think we've got 250 videos now.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, but I'm shadow banned quite heavily there. You type my name in and videos of other people show up, and why would you do that?
Yeah.
Unless they didn't like us very much.
When I was trying to find a thumbnail for the video, that's how I first saw that little, I don't know her last name, but the little Kimberly bitch that was lower energy. That was one of the first things that pops up is exposing Alobar Jones. So whenever some bullshit pops up, if you type in Joel Bauman, the herpes fucking clip will pop up that I use to set up the world. You know what I mean? They'll throw the fake news.
Wow.
They'll throw the fake news on people before they will that I fight to save children. They don't want to tell the world that I fight to save. Why wouldn't you want to tell the world that I fight to save children? And I got a way to help people. Speaking of Zeolite, shameless plug one more time. If you want to help us save kids, Alobar's talking about getting ready for his program. I think that one way that could help people get ready for your program is Focus. Focus is a product that helps you focus. It's all natural, all food, no preservatives. It has Acemannan in it, which increases stem cell production, and it helps your brain fire. It's a natural nootropic that increases stem cell production. Oh, and by the way, we have this new core product that helps you detox heavy metals from your body and increase stem cell productions. This is what we do. We help the body biohack and get you ready for Alobar Jones.
Can you send me a box that has all the stuff in it?
Yeah.
And just tell me how much money you need for that.
Yeah, of course, we got you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And we will see you. We will see you in your program. I know Max has already purchased 6 months.
Yeah, look.
But we'll definitely.
Yeah, you only need to put 1 month down, the first month down. And I get people to pay month by month, so that because if you like the course, that's great. Stick around. If only just trying it out, come for 1 month.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it that much, then 1 month's fees is not a lot of money,
Yeah.
But what it does is every month I have to keep delivering useful and interesting and powerful material, or else you guys can bugger off.
Bingo.
I guess if I stop being interesting, you can go. And I set it up that way.
And you also pre-qualify people. If people see the value in what you're doing and what you're creating, they will always pay for it. That's the fucking point. You even saying, you could send me a box, I'll send you money. We would have sent you a box anyways. You know what I mean? Because we would want you. But that's the point is that you provide value. You provide value, and you're weeding out the people who aren't serious. I like that. I like that,
Yeah.
you weed people out. People can DM me on this thing called MINNECT. If you want to reach out to King Bao, there's a little thing here. It says contact King Bao on MINNECT. And basically what that means is I will respond to your message and your DM or any email that you're trying to send me. I will respond here on MINNECT. Why don't I just respond to everybody's DM? Because it would take me days and my mental health. And I'm sorry. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it anymore. I've got to.
I totally understand where you're at, man. And you try being an exorcist and seeing how weird some of the emails come in, how weird some of the weird stuff people
This is
tell
what I
you
was gonna
about. Yeah.
say. This is what I was gonna say. This is the last time I'm bringing up that Kimberly bitch was like, "Oh, he looks like he's gotten like older and worn out." Like, if you were fucking dealing with this type of energy all the time, like, bro, I'm reading an 800-page book that's all about them pre-programming the world and laughing in our face. They're literally laughing in people's face about all this shit. Okay, and I'm sitting here. I just got my first gray hair. That's what I was going to tell you earlier. I went and when I took my piss and I got my water, when I told you I was going to do that, I went and I looked in the mirror. I got my first fucking gray hair.
No, just stay in denial, mate. Just stay in denial. It never happened.
Yeah,
No.
I know. I lost my hair from stress a long time ago, and I think that was part of the demon as well, because my hair is everything to me at one point in time, and then I just realized that it's part of maybe a spiritual awakening, that I was supposed to give up the most valuable thing to me to actually be able to receive what I was supposed to and become the person I was supposed to, and not give so much of a fuck about what I look like. And now people think I look beautiful because I think I look beautiful, and that's the fucking point.
That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. So we
Yeah.
appreciate you being here, man,
Yeah.
and doing this, and you are obviously welcome.
All right. Love to you, world. Yeah, it's really been good hanging out with you, King Bao.
Yeah, man, absolutely. We appreciate you. Go to alobarjones.com, and we will be putting out maybe little clips of the exorcism and the little process that we went through to.
Yeah, look, I recommend it for everybody, but it's just the word exorcism is daunting enough.
Yeah.
But there's a video on there that shows you just how painless it is.
Yeah.
How simple and painless it is.
Of course. Oh,
Yep.
I have one last question. So when you're doing exorcism, and this is probably a question other people have, are you working on the astral realm when you?
Absolutely. Like, I know where they like to live in the human body, and I've developed weapons that are, well, let's just say decisive in resolving their presence there.
Beautiful.
They don't, demon kind knows my name, and they know that they're very, very lucky if they survive an encounter with me, because basically they don't.
Yeah.
And if you understand demons, if you spend time talking to them or in conversation or see their activities, you'll know that there's just no place for them on any world. And they even say so themselves. They go, "We're not welcome anywhere." And I go, "I wonder why."
Last question that I have for you that I think people would have before we get out of here is, okay, demon kind isn't welcome anywhere. They know this. Why don't you fear them? Why don't you have a fear for them? Or how did you lose your fear for them?
All right. I've been fighting these guys for 15 years, right?
Okay.
And I've taken every punch that they know how to throw.
Okay.
And so,
Elaborate on punches.
All right. Okay. So, they can attack different parts of the human spiritual systems. Like, how you've got like a circulatory system and a nervous system and a skeletal system and all of these different systems in the body, right? You also have spiritual ones. Like well-known ones are the chakra system and the meridian system that they use in Chinese med and kinesiology. But we have hundreds of them, and they know which ones to hit and how to hobble them very, very quickly. And so, and I take it like, every kind of jab, every kind of hook, every kind of uppercut, I've taken all of those hits. And each time I took a hit, I developed a shield that prevented them doing that again. And so now I'm up to 450 odd shields, right? And it just means they've got no moves left. They don't have anything that they can use against me. So it's always short and decisive. And really, when I talk to them, they know it's like a cat and mouse game, you know. And you probably saw that with Asmodeus.
Yeah.
That, you know, he knows who I am and he knows what I'm about, and he knows that his time is suddenly so much shorter.
Yes.
His time's up. Yeah.
And one thing I do want to say to the audience that may be, you know, questioning the validity of someone like Alobar Jones and are wondering, you know, could this potentially be real? Alobar said some very, very important things that everybody needs to pay attention to or rewind. And one of them was teaching you how to heal yourself. My spiritual mentor, Danelle, told me, Joel, the reason you want to save the world is because you want to save yourself. And that was the biggest epiphany, one of the biggest spiritual awakenings I've ever had, was she said, you want to essentially just save the world because it's as above, so below. Do what you need to do to save you, and you'll be able to save the world because you'll be able to provide to the world the value that you're ultimately looking to. And if you can't keep your energy high, how could you ever teach somebody else how to keep their energy high? And how could you expect them to follow your example? Because if Jesus was the ultimate example or a form of it, or Buddha was the ultimate example or a form of it, these people are just examples. So you have to learn. I used to want to be Tony Robbins. That's why I read 200 books in the span of a year and a half, because that's what I heard he did. And I wanted to help people. And then I realized that energy was a thing. And then I'm like, wait a minute, if I can just help people at the source with the source, that would make the most sense. So then that's when I got energy. And then I got miserable. Just like how when I did music, I got miserable. Why? Because I was searching for the answers in something outside of me. We are source. And so you said something so important. We'll teach you how to heal yourself. And then when you're talking about the demons just now, you said, well, I've had 450 bouts with it. Every time we have an issue or scars show us how we grow. Muscles grow when torn. You have to tear your muscles for them to grow, and then they get stronger. And that's the point. So when you say you've had that many encounters, hats off to you, man. You get it. And I'm grateful for you.
I took the punches so that I could figure them out. But my self-healing practice has always been this, you know. I'll think about events during the day or during the week and go, what didn't work? What worked, what didn't work, you know. And whatever didn't work, you know, I found out what emotion I was running at that time, and I purge it. Right away. Like, as soon as I detect an emotion that's leading me into silliness, it's got to go. Got to go. And I've been doing that for 15 years, and the results are awesome, mate.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome.
High-level neuro-linguistic programming, becoming aware of the problem and immediately handling it, because that's the thing. So many people
jumping on it.
So many people.
The longer you go with this, the less tolerance you have for it. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know, and now I'm in, and I cringe to say this, but I'm more or less fully healed, more or less.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a contentious term to say fully healed, right? But if I say I'm more or less fully healed, now that I'm here, I actually just have choice.
Yes.
Like, about what I want in my life and what I don't.
Yes.
It's not about you know, if I think more about this, I'll get that, and so I'll choose to think more about this. If I think more about the other thing, then I'll get that some other thing.
Yes.
And I'm quite happy for it to go, and I just know which direction my life's heading.
Conscious awareness.
Yeah.
Conscious awareness
Totally.
is everything.
Totally.
You said the Kabbalion. You said Thoth. The Kabbalion is my favorite book. When I first read the Kabbalion, I had no fucking idea. I got so mad because I got so mad because
I was talking about that earlier on.
Yeah,
Hermes Trismegistus.
Yes, my fucking spiritual mentor Danelle. She's like, well, when you're ready, that book appears. So if it's appeared to you, you should try to read it. I read it for the first time. I had no fucking idea what it was saying, and I was so pissed off that I couldn't understand it. But I could understand every other book I was reading, and lo and behold, I kept having to read it, kept having to revisit it, and after every time, I would be able to take the laws of the universe that were literally being told to me and go,
Yeah,
how does this apply in my life? Oh, self-reflection. It's literally
yeah.
all reflectory. Like you have to self-analyze. You self-reflect. Why do I carry glass balls? Well, because I like to self-reflect.
Because people don't like seeing you playing with your own ones in public, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
why.
I've always,
But yeah, look, the Kabbalion is the rules for the magical game. You know,
yes.
you understand the rules, and you go figure out your strategy, how you're going to get them to work for what you want.
Bingo.
It's really, yeah. It's a game. It's a big game.
Yes.
You know?
And we're glad that you're playing it with us, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, look, come along, come to the party. You'll love it. I know you will.
Yes.
Yep. All
Yes.
right.
We will see you
Yeah,
soon,
we've
man.
been rambling. We might ramble some more in another future date. But for
Yes.
now,
Thank you.
love to you all.
Yes.
Stay well.
See you guys.
Ciao for now.
Recording now, so you're good whenever.
All right. So welcome to the party, folks. I'm with Mr. Bahu here, and we're today's all about seeing what demons are in people and a demonstration of how they all get out.
Perfect.
Now, I've been doing this for a very, very long time, and I think I'll probably be one of the top 10 exorcists in the world. Now, nobody ever thinks that they've got demons, but I'm still yet to meet somebody who's perfectly clean, who's
Beautiful.
perfectly without. Yeah.
I'm excited,
So,
man. I'm excited.
yeah. Well, look, you know, if there's something holding you back, if you've got self-sabotage, if you've got self-doubt, or anything that needs healing, anything that you might go to counseling for, it's probably the culprit is a demon. You know,
Yes.
I've been in spirituality for a long time. Most people are into positive affirmation, and that's their spirituality. And then you go through this phase where you go, my positive affirmations only limited. I need to do some shadow work,
Yes.
right? So that I need to undo the parts of myself that are against me. And then when you go further into shadow work, you find all of your shadows are produced by demons. But the entire spiritual culture is not caught up to that part yet. They haven't realized that yet. It's not in the general conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm a pioneer, and you know, selling demons is hard. Nobody really wants them.
I was gonna say, yeah. How do you monetize that work?
Yes. No. Well, here's the other thing. All mental health issues are caused by demonic interference. All of them. Right? And you know, our conventional treatments disappoint a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then when they come into my world, then problems can be solved because I'm working on the right paradigm. You know, people who hear voices, who else would those voices belong to if it wasn't a demon? What other candidate do they have for those voices?
Yeah.
Like it's it's disappointing that's where the conversation is the real conversation is just beginning.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what you see or feel from me because I believe that I do a lot of shadow work and that I have done a lot of work with my demons and expelling them and showing them that I'm in control. So I am excited to see and experience this, man. This is actually a dream come true for me to see if the work that I have been doing is sufficient, if that makes sense.
Look, most people, I'm looking at the number of dudes who have a contract on you. And for most people, that's up to 10, where they think they own your body. In your case, it's 2.
Okay.
And in deep spiritual work, like over time, they just get made unwelcome. I think it's probably, and they just get pushed out. rather than, it's kind of like you're working in an office and this task gets taken off you, that task gets taken off you, that task gets taken off you until there's nothing to do on your desk and you just don't work there anymore.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of people do it. And I can see you've done a heck of a lot of work like that, but we're down to 2, which is
Beautiful.
a victory. But anyway, so
Well,
I have this process where I bring them up to the front of your personality, and then they talk out your mouth. Are you ready?
I'm all about it, bro. I'm all about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. You strike me as a pretty hardcore guy, so I think you're going to be right into this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's go. Hypnosis
All
is
right.
my favorite. I love this.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you. Yes, you. Come on. Yeah, gotcha. You're going to feel him come over your body in a second. So, yeah. No, come on. Don't upset me. I know you don't want to do this. Yep. I can amputate something if you don't want it. Yes, that's right. Okay, now I want you in here. Yep, and that's the microphone there. And I want you to speak into, there you go. You should feel him coming over your body now. How long have you been there, mate? That's the microphone. How long you been there?
Hmm.
You know who I am, don't you? Don't be shy. Now's not the time to be shy. I'm not joking about amputating things.
I know everybody.
So what did you hear about me? So now's your big moment. You've been in the shadows for so long, you're in the spotlight now. All the attention's on you. Don't be shy, buddy.
Oh. Alobar Jones.
Yep. Are you going to talk to me or are you just going to pretend like you want to? Are you upset that you're in this conversation?
One could say that.
You know, there's only a very small percentage of you guys who survive this conversation. I'm sure you're aware of that, right?
Indeed.
And so you can join that small group if you are compliant, answer questions, be clear and direct, attempt honesty. I know you all have honesty issues. But if you actually talk with us and make us happy, then you won't get to stay in this body anymore, but you will survive the experience. You get that?
Indeed.
You can say yes, sir. Feel like we should know you. We should know your name. We know the name of your hive.
Hmm.
So how long you been there anyway?
Infinite.
And what are you doing in this fella?
Vessel.
Do you own this guy?
No.
But you have possession contracts, right?
What do you want?
I want you to talk to me.
I am.
And what are you doing here?
Ushering in the new.
But you're failing, aren't you? Do you like the direction of Bo's life right now?
He's stepping into the light.
You didn't answer my question.
I don't necessarily like that you're here.
Because I'm a massive threat to you. Do you want to stop stuffing me around? So, what are you trying to stimulate in Bo?
Rage.
And
Darkness.
and
Vessel.
what do you think of his fighting career?
He hasn't even tapped into his full potential. He's afraid to hurt people.
Do you want him to hurt people?
I want him to destroy everything.
And so your issue is that he actually won't let go of his morals. Is that the issue?
Indeed.
I just want you to play a little, stimulate a memory from Bo's life, like your favorite moment in this life, the one where he's doing,
Hopelessness.
yeah. I really feel like we probably know you. Would we know your name? Don't be proud, mate. It's too late to be shy.
Everyone knows who I am.
Too late to be shy.
What do names matter?
I'm not Solomon. My methodology doesn't require your name. It's irrelevant to me. It's not a threat. Solomon always used names with leverage. They don't matter to me.
What if I am nameless?
Oh, shut up. Come on, don't give us this jazz. Is it time for me to amputate something?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to lose a leg. 2 legs now. And you're just regrowing them. Great. Right now you're connecting right up to your collective, aren't you? Let's speak to the primary intelligence of your collective.
Are you sure?
Yeah, whatever.
Mm. Hello, Alobar.
I don't know if you're happy or worried to meet me.
Neither.
Both. You saw what we did to Lucifer last week?
You found him?
Yeah. How's he doing these days?
Hmm.
Well, you're not saying well, are you?
You're a funny guy.
You don't want to answer difficult questions.
I'm over it.
So what's the first letter of your name?
Hey,
It is Asmodeus, eh?
you're good.
You know, you're pretty high on our hit list, buddy. We are coming for you.
Aren't you glad you found me?
Yeah, no. It's not like I want to be your mate or have you around from a barbecue or anything like that. It's just a curiosity.
What do you want with this man?
I want you to not have him. It's about the size that he wants that too. What do you want with this man?
Vessel.
How boring.
Not at all.
Is he a particularly good or bad vessel, and in what way?
Perfect.
Perfect for what?
How do you not know? Don't you see all?
It's not about, this is an interview where you get to talk. The point is bringing your voice out to the world. What's he perfect for?
If we can flip his virtue and feed off of his hopelessness and amplify it, He is the perfect disciple for chaos.
Then he'll be the monster you're really looking for, eh? Oh, I was hoping for one of them. Yeah.
You're good.
Has anyone ever caused you guys anywhere near as much trouble as I have?
This vessel is powerful.
Yeah. That's why you can't have him. How often do people say no to you, mate?
Nobody really says no to him. I'm tough to say no to.
Yeah, so you don't like it when I want to deny you a vessel, eh?
That's Medeus.
So you're going to let go of him or you want to fight? Actually, how about this one? Why don't you tell us what your plan for the world would be if you had, let's say, 1 million bows at your disposal?
Do you want me to divulge?
Yeah, go on, man. Tell us a story. You know you haven't got long to live. You may as well go down in history of having said something.
If we can continue to create chaos and inflict hopelessness into those who are virtuous like this one, we usher in everything that we want and we win anyways. Chaos.
So since everybody feels hopeless, then you win anyway, huh?
This one doesn't necessarily feel fully hopeless. That's why he's
That's the
tough
problem.
and we must break him.
That's the problem.
Yes.
And what's your strategy for breaking him?
Take away what matters.
You want to break him through loss.
He has everything. It's the only way.
And you want to take it all away.
What matters?
What matters to him?
Love.
Right. And have you got some you injecting some karma that'll help create that outcome?
He's cleared most of it.
So you haven't got much tools left, have you?
I'm annoyed by you.
I don't. Your feelings are really important to me. I think the whole world should be sympathetic to Asmodeus right now. You haven't got much tools left for this guy, have you? Not much leverage.
The plan must hasten.
No. The plan's in the middle of halting. You're losing key personnel. You're also losing a lot of your smaller demons, a lot of the smaller breeds. We're after them too. You've been watching that, right?
You're pissing me off.
That's my day job, buddy. I don't think you understand. I don't think people understand just how much influence you've had in human culture.
What do you want with this one? Oh, wise one.
Don't call me names.
If I'm going to die, I suppose I can call you whatever I want.
So how much influence have you had in human culture over the millennia?
All of it. Anything mental. Anything negative felt with emotion. We can feed off of. Obviously.
Were negative emotions even present before your arrival?
All comes from chaos, does it not?
Half answers the question. You see, let's say somebody's in anger for a prolonged period, or rage for a prolonged period. That's actually physiologically quite bad for the body. Like all of that adrenaline pumping, anyway, there's a lot of body functions that misstep when they're in a lot of rage, right? Was that even a thing before you came to the earth, or did you guys create that?
The fall was rage. It was outrage.
What are you so upset about? You come to the planet to express your
That you
upset?
want to take a perfect vessel. Why? What do you gain?
I'll probably make a friend. The real question is, what are you guys building to? You guys have been getting a tighter and tighter and tighter grip around human culture.
The dragon approaches the shore.
Who's the dragon?
Who the vessel is being prepped for? What do you think?
Look, there are names like Tiamat that come to mind. But I actually think that what we're discussing is an AI intelligence.
What if it was all linked?
What if what was all linked?
All of it.
All of what?
AI. The dragon. What if it was all linked? Then what?
Then our team would probably destroy it all. You guys are so weak.
Good luck.
You guys are so weak.
Is the dragon?
I'll probably find out. But you guys have tried to stop me on a few occasions and you can't do it. Change the subject, go on.
I feel like something wants to talk to you.
There's another intelligence coming through, eh?
Uh,
Who have we got here? Don't be boring and play hopscotch with your name. Who are we talking to?
watch your mouth.
Should I respect you, should I? Who are we talking to?
I don't think you deserve
Oh,
my
I don't
name.
think you deserve this conversation. Don't be shy. You've travelled.
Who are you to tell me what I'm deserving of?
You travelled across the stars to come visit us here. You know, that's quite an honour, I suppose. Why don't you at least introduce yourself?
The dragon approaches the shore.
Yeah, right. So you're saying you're the dragon, are you?
Welcome.
What do you want with the earth?
It is time to reset everything.
And you're the motor for that reset, are you?
Aren't we all the Antichrist?
No, we're not all the Antichrist, buddy. We're not. But
Humanity has proven otherwise.
I think you're wrong. And I think, like the conversation we just had with Asmodeus is a case in point that you don't get everything you want here on Earth. On other planets, it might be easier, but not here.
Then I guess we will see about that.
You're so used to consuming planets, aren't you? He's gone. You all right, Bo? Go drink some water, bro.
I have
Yeah.
a headache.
Sorry about that. You okay?
He didn't want to talk to you.
Yeah, no, he's used to absolute subservience, that sort of, those level guys. Who's here now? Is that you, Asmodeus, again?
Of course. I'm over this.
What, because you're not getting yes? Just out of curiosity, how many humans are sacrificing to you on a daily basis?
Depends on what you consider sacrifice. All of them. Anyone that's not living righteously, obviously. You can sacrifice through a thought, a negative thought.
You mean, no, you're not talking about, you're talking about feeding into your paradigms, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like dead animal, dead body on an altar.
How many Satanists are there in the world?
Well, how many Satanists are there in the world?
Millions.
I don't think the numbers are that high.
In their own way.
God, if a straight
don't think-
answer, mate. A straight answer from you. You know, a proper satanic priest is putting corpses on altars, right? And I don't think there's that many of you. I don't think there's that many of them.
You don't think millions follow Satan?
I think unwittingly there's a whole bunch of them who do.
Precisely.
But that's not what makes you strong. That's not what helps you direct this planet. That's not what helps you manage this earth. There's a small cadre, maybe 5,000 satanic priests.
You're good.
Good enough to best you lot.
What do you want with this
You're
one?
changing the subject again, aren't you?
You annoyed. What matters?
The dragon didn't get a yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir from me. So he had a little tanty and ran away and left. Is that the deal?
Maybe he should have. This vessel is getting worked up.
Are you going to get out of this vessel, or am I going to push you out?
He's pushing me out.
Are you going to leave, or am I going to hurt you? Attaboy. There you go. The first.
That shit is fucking crazy, huh?
Yeah, welcome to my world, mate. As we say in Australia, we're playing for sheep stations. Like these guys want the entire earth, and they've done it a million times before to a million other planets.
I feel so much lighter.
Yeah.
Instantaneously.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend. I'm sweating.
Yeah, your body will go through a whole bunch of freakouts. Well, you'll go through a few things over the next few days. You'll go through something, what I call a memory review, where you'll think back to old situations that didn't go well and you go, maybe it wasn't that they hated me. Maybe they were just for themselves. Maybe it wasn't like this. Maybe it was like that. And all of your memories will soften in that way. You'll
I feel a lot lighter.
Go into your rage and see if it feels the same or if it feels different.
It doesn't.
Now you're in control. Well, what this means is you're in control of you now. No worries,
Thank you.
mate.
I don't feel angry at all in any regard. That's nuts.
Yeah. This is something this is a lost technology, bro. Everybody could use this.
Yeah. I feel like because I have respect for you, they were able to feel that, which allowed me to almost do more and be present in helping expel. It's crazy.
Yeah, Luke.
Like they could feel the respect I have, you know? You would be the only person that I would allow to do this outside of, you know,
people. Yeah.
maybe one other person.
Look, it's the best job in the world because, you know, each step of this gives people their entire lives back, you know?
Yeah. I feel really light.
And also you're going to get lucky.
Really light.
Not in the traditional sense of getting lucky, but when you're without these guys, your frequency will be more buoyant, and when it's more buoyant, good things happen. When your frequency boosts or leaps up like this.
The last month and a half, brother, 2 months, has been alignment upon alignment upon alignment. And this is the first time where it's like I feel light, meaning I just feel like I'm going to receive good. There is no thing in the back of my mind that wonders anything else, you know, or is creating any other reality. So like that is just fucking
all of your
incredible.
manifestation power can
You know
be
what I mean?
focused into the one thing.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Ooh.
I was always afraid, I think. I was always afraid when I was young because I led everybody to, you know, my name was Bible Boy. That was my nickname. And I led everybody to Jesus. And that was my thing. I just wanted to save all my friends. You know, I was adopted, was given life. My mom picked the parents I have now to raise me because she wasn't able to have children. My adoptive mother wasn't able to have children. And after coming to Jesus, my mom said that she should give me up to give me a better life after not being able to take care of me financially because she had 2 other children. And I always thought that I was here to save the world's children. And my biggest fear growing up was that I would be the Antichrist. And I don't feel that anymore.
Well, they had some plans for you, didn't
At
they?
all. It appears. It appears. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Maybe a little bit.
Total
Feel good,
pleasure,
though.
mate.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh.
We will definitely be doing your course. Max is really excited to start. And I feel like, you know, this is part of my calling. It's funny how I do this for people in many ways, but then you need someone else to do it for you to just, it's like tuning up. You know, you go to a chiropractor for a tune-up. You do all these other things. I've helped so many people, and it's like, it's really cool to have had that experience after every other experience that I've had, you know? It's really cool.
It's the most fun I have in a day. Thumbing my nose at these guys. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, get some stretching done, mate. Yeah. Your body will open up a bit more as well.
Will do, bro.
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to drink something.
All right. No worries.
Appreciate
Ciao for
you,
now,
man.
brother. Stay well.
All right.